and welcome back to my little sewing studio where I turn my fashion ideas into reality. Today I'm working on a sort of coat, but more of a statement piece that you can wear to music festivals, clubs, and just out and about. The idea is for it to look something like this. The coat I'm making, as you can see right there, is all the way to the ground. I kind of made that decision as I started working on it because I thought it would make more of a statement piece as you walk. It's kind of like Matrix vibes, and it's going to have some fake fur that is going to look like this. It's so soft. I want to make like everything out of this fur. Check it out, like it's so cute. So I've had a few challenges as I've been working on this coat, especially with a sleeve. Sleeves are not my friends, I'm telling you that right now. I wish I didn't design it with a sleeve, but I'm still sticking to my plan. I'm actually in the process of adjusting the fit a little bit as we speak. Hopefully it turns out great. As you can see, so far it's not yet finished, so I don't know what it's gonna look like when we meet again at the end of the video. Let me get started and show you how I did this coat from start to finish, and of course I'm going to model it at the end for you and show you how it turned out.
As usual, I'm going to begin with a pattern. I'm using a regular dress block. As I mentioned before, you should make your pattern blocks from patterns you buy at a store and perfect them to your own size. This pattern has darts for the waist and shoulder. I'm going to split them and turn them into a princess cut. In this case, our seams will connect down the sides of our chest, thus removing the darts and displacing them into our new princess style line. I'm pointing out where the notches should be. There is one notch at the front and two notches at the back. This way we can tell them apart when we're sewing. I'm just going over all of the notches, making sure I got all of them. I snipped them a little bit with my detailing scissors to ensure that I see them while sewing. Here I'm using muslin. This is a type of material that is used as a draft fabric to avoid wasting good fabric. We can make all of our corrections on this muslin before cutting it out again from the actual fabric we want to use. Now we are going to sew all of our parts together and do a fitting first. It's important to iron out all of the seams before we do a fitting. I cut the coat only to hip length since the part that's fitting around the body is my main focus for pattern correction. The skirt portion will drop down naturally to floor length. I measured my length to be about 42 inches from waist to ankle. In the meantime, I'm just perfecting my style lines, and once I've taken in all of the excess fabric, I'm going to take all of these pieces apart and revise my pattern one last time. Now I'm moving on to the sleeve. I didn't have a really good block for a sleeve, so I may have to play around with it a few times to get it right. Upon trying it on, it was evident that the top of the sleeve was missing some fullness right there, so I'm going to add a bit of fullness at the shoulder and try it again. Hopefully once I cut it again, it's going to sit a bit nicer and fit more comfortably in the long run. Now that I've tried it again, it does look like it's reaching all the way to the top of the shoulder, so that should work. Moving on to cutting all of our pieces. Challenge to fit all of the pieces together properly on my blue denim here. I was a little worried that I was gonna run out of fabric, but everything worked out and everything fit just right. Once again, I'm using the floor to cut out all of my long pieces. Now, as you can see, I've already added the skirt length. I simply continued the hip lines all the way down. I'm using this blue thread, so I'm just going to thread my bobbin here and proceed with stitching my good copy of this coat. I'm snipping the part where the breast curves without reaching the thread. This will ease the curve once ironed out. Again, don't forget to iron out your seams, and once we put the pieces together, we can try it on and see what other mistakes need fixing. As you can see, the sleeve is fitting too low on the shoulder, so I'm going to cut away from the blue material to make that line higher up and stitch it again. Now moving on to cutting out my fake fur pieces. This is going to be a little tricky because this fake fur has all of these little fibers that are going to fly everywhere. So I'm just using a vacuum cleaner to suck up any extra floaties. I put my trims directly into the vacuum cleaner to clean them off, and I thought it was hilarious at one point. One of them got sucked in completely and I had to open up the whole vacuum cleaner to get it out. But hey, I think on my feet, and that's what we gotta do here on Only Threads. I'm going to cut out my final revision of the sleeve, and I'm going to add the fur trimmings on the sleeves as well. I'm going to pin them down in place and then prep my sleeves before attaching them onto the rest of the coat. This was my first experience working with fake fur, and I must say that these little fur fibers were absolutely everywhere. I might want to hold off before working on another fake fur project again. Anywhere that we have a bend, we want to give it a bit of a base stitch, which is what I'm doing here. I'm putting my finger behind it and pressing down as I'm stitching to gather it a tiny bit. If you need to re-watch this part again in slower speed, please do so. I'm going to proceed adding the rest of the trim onto the length of my coat. I will have to do a bit of hand stitching afterwards. Now I can finally do a fitting for my sleeve and attach my sleeve as well as serge all around the seams to finish them off nicely so that our coat looks beautiful inside and outside. And there are no indications that we made 100 beautiful mistakes on the way to this royal cosmic look. Lastly, I'm doing some hand sewing. I'm going to do most of my hand sewing right here on the table because majority of the trims are lying flat. And then I'm going to put the coat on my mannequin to go around the curvy areas by hand as well and finish off my hand sewing this way. Overall, I think my coat turned out pretty fabulous and exactly as I wanted it. It isn't the type of coat that will keep you warm, it's more of a statement piece. It's a little bit funky, a little out there color-wise. But if you guys have been watching my channel this far, you know that I'm really into bright colors and head-turning styles. I'm finished, and now it's time to try on this beautiful coat.
I wanna hold your body close to me. I wanna take you where you've never been. Swear I won't break your heart and I won't let you down.